My name is Dr. Bridget Cantrell, and I'm a mental health professional licensed here in the state of Washington. And I provide services to veterans and their families from all eras and from this current war as well. So I work with active duty military, reservists, National Guard, and their family members. Bridget Cantrell grew up in a household with a father with untreated PTSD from World War II in Korea. So I knew firsthand what it was like to grow up in that type of environment where anger was an issue. My dad was a workaholic. It was very difficult for him to sit still. But although we grew up like that, we always knew we were loved. And he was very dedicated to our family despite his issues with post-traumatic stress. And so he was pretty much my inspiration. I've always been a helper since I was a little girl, and I wanted to do something significant with my life to help other people. And it just fell into place. It was like, I say, it was like a divine intervention. It was handed to me, I listened to the message, and I acted on it, and I have not regretted 1 second of that since that moment in time. Some of the issues that our warriors are facing, we're seeing anger, we're seeing sleep issues, we're seeing that they're socially isolated from their families and their peers that they left behind. They can no longer relate to them. And some of them are coming back and going into schooling, and some of them are going back into their jobs, and they're finding a very difficult time quieting themselves down and feeling comfortable to pursue those activities. Anger has its place in a war zone. It fuels people into action. Our warriors are fueled into action with their anger, but when they come home, they just can't turn it off like a light switch. So they're triggered extensively around this urban setting because that's the type of situation they're leaving when they're in Afghanistan or Iraq. Sit there and just talk to them about their life, what their life's been like since they've been home, what it was like before they went, what are some of the issues that they're dealing with, and how to better serve them in terms of developing better coping skills and helping them understand that just because they're having an issue right now, it is pretty much related to either their war experience or their training, and trying to help them link that is a very important component to helping them transition from being a warrior in a war zone to a citizen back at home. You know, oftentimes being a mental health professional, you never know how you're going to touch someone's life. I had one soldier who came to me and he had just come back from Iraq, and he was having a hard time because they wanted to medically board him out for some of the wounds that he had sustained. And for him to think about leaving the military was absolutely beyond comprehension. He grew up as a little boy. It's in his DNA to be a warrior. So for him to have that job and that privilege taken away from him was beyond devastating. One time he was sitting in his house and he called me, and I returned his call, and he was in his uniform, and he said if I hadn't have called him back, I was his last ditch effort to connect with someone. If he was getting ready to go out and kill himself. So you just never know how you're going to affect someone. And now he's back from his tours in Iraq. He's a happy camper. He's going up in rank, and he's going to be enlisting for a career. This is what he wants to do. He wants to retire as a soldier. Our warriors are coming home, and we need to be better prepared to receive them so we don't repeat any type of history that we've had in the past where they feel totally helpless and totally alone. We need to do whatever we can to facilitate a sense of community for them as well. There's nothing that is more important to me than knowing that I've made an impact in someone's life.